So in order to make sake, you need to prepare the batter ahead of time. It needs to be made at least a half an hour to 8 or 9 hours ahead of time, and you can leave it out at room temperature. So I am making some garlic paste to put in the batter, and then after that it's just a cup of water, a cup of the gluten-free flour, salt and pepper. I put some herbs in it. I actually put some anise and oregano because I wanted that Italian sausage flavor, and some olive oil. It takes about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and let it sit. Hi, Stevie Lynn here, and welcome to the Earth-Based Kitchen, where I teach you how to make whole food, plant-based, and wheat-free, super healthy, but also decadent food. And today is Friday. Yay! I'm very excited because I have my husband all weekend, and we usually have a movie night, or we just go upstairs and watch Netflix. It used to be Ted Lasso. I'm gonna cry. I've been mourning the end of that show. It's been everything to me. So, what do you do on Friday nights? Well, pizza is always a good idea, right? Only we're plant-based and we're gluten-free. Well, I'm wheat-free. Well, how do you do a decent pizza? Well, you don't actually do a pizza. So I'm not really making pizza. I'm making my version of sake. Sake, which is a French, basically skillet bread from the Provençal region. But I'm using Bob's Red Mill, gluten-free, all-purpose flour, because I discovered I didn't have, when I learned about that recipe for sake, I didn't have chickpea flour. But I did have Bob's Red Mill, all-purpose flour, and I did the recipe anyway. It was so good. Like, the crust is like chewy. It's almost like cheese-like. Have you ever had the Brazilian cheese bread, pão de queijo? I think that's made with like a tapioca. Like there's a bounciness to it that's very much like mozzarella cheese. And that's from the dough. It's also from the cheese, but it's mostly from the dough. Well, there's tapioca in Bob's Red Mill, all-purpose flour. And I think that what's giving it that kind of bounciness, which reminds me of cheese. And yes, it's like having cheese in the crust. I'm gonna set my oven to 450. So as you saw earlier, I had already prepared the batter. It's kind of late. It's like 6 o'clock already, and I waited to make this because I want it ready when my husband gets home, because it gets a little rubbery when it cools. Store whatever you don't use, put it in your fridge, and heat it up later in your air fryer, and it is just as good. And I will be having this for breakfast too. We're gonna bake this at 450 degrees. I put the cast iron pan in the oven. You want to heat up the cast iron pan. You might actually saute some vegetables in the cast iron pan, and then you'll pour the batter, and then you'll just leave the pan hot. Like you'll saute vegetables, the pan will be hot, and then you'll pour the batter over the pan. Like you can totally do that. So often with this, I make a caramelized cabbage and onion filling with it, and I will caramelize everything in the pan, and then I'll just pour the batter over it and then put it in the oven. But we're doing something really quick tonight. We're making it like pizza. Beautiful local tomatoes. I got golden and red, and farm fresh zucchini. And then when it's all done, I'll just put some fresh herbs on top of it. I got some basil and some mint. The mint's gonna go really nice with the zucchini. This is the first time I'm making this with this huge cast iron. And I doubled the recipe for it. Mix up. Throw some. What's up, Smokey? Why are you sad? Smokey is sad today because Dad took sister to work. Took Lila to work, huh? So you've just been here with me. But we did go hiking today. And we're gonna put this in the oven in the middle of the middle of the rack. Ooh. For about 15 minutes. Oh, you look handsome. Come here. See, look at his new haircut. Are you in the frame? Your haircut is not in the frame. Look at his new haircut. He's got a mohawk. He's got a mohawk. Yeah. He's got a mohawk because he's a neuroscientist and he's doing experiments and he needed the space on the sides of his head for electrodes. He's also a lab rat. It's ready. But before I pull it out, I'm just going to turn on the broiler onto high. Ah, it looks so good. Yummy. How beautiful that is. But it's not done yet. We have to broil it. I'm going to pour a little oil on it. I'm going to kind of move it around a little bit to get the oil evenly dispersed. And now it's too hot. So it's got to go in there. And at this point, you got to babysit it. You really have to babysit it because you can burn it. So actually, if you were to do it the Saka way, with the chickpea flour, I was considering doing it that way. And then I went to my local co-op and I saw that the chickpea flour was like $11. That's just crazy because I can make it probably for less than $1. So if you're interested in a recipe on how to make chickpea flour, you go to the store and you get some bulk chickpeas and then you make flour out of it, let me know. I would be happy to show you. It's so hot today. It's like crazy. I shouldn't even be cooking like this. I should not have the oven on broil. I need to start doing some smoothie recipes right now since we're all having a heat wave, right? Okay, that looks beautiful. Make sure to turn your oven off because it's hot as you know what. So now I'm just gonna put the herbs all over her. Try to get the herbs all over. You will not miss cheese and bread. I promise you. You will not. And once you have this recipe down, which is so easy, it's a cup of the flour, a cup of the water, throw in some oil, let it sit for a while, and salt and pepper. Let it sit for a while, and then fill it with whatever you want to fill it with. Bake at 450 degrees for 15 minutes and sprinkle a little olive oil on top. Put it in the broil. You don't actually even have to do that step. You don't have to do the broiler step. And you want to eat this right away before your husband can even get the movies started. This is our date night. We don't go anywhere anymore. We barely watch TV. When we do, we sit on the couch, and that's the only time we sit on the couch is when we're going to watch a movie. And so it's like going to the theater. It's like our special time. Oh, don't tickle me, Michael. I don't think it's that bad. Just take your clothes off.
You're always trying to get in my pants.
Yes, I am. So good. Can you see that? Look at that. Look at that. Thank you for joining me today as I show you how we do pizza night as a plant-based, wheat-free family. And I look forward to hanging out with you next week. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really, really encourages me to make more videos. And why not subscribe while you're at it? Bye.